Hi everybody, welcome into Module 10 editing. It's a, a pretty short lecture because the bulk of the material will be in the in-learning chapter number 4. That's where I want you to be. So this includes playing and marking shots, setting up a sequence, which you need to know how to do. And it's not just one. Oftentimes when I edit, I'll use more than one in the same project. Performing insert edits, extremely important. Moving and swapping clips, we do that all the time, so I want you to be comfortable with that. And then they have a short section on removing material for concision, or how do we make small edits. That's a worthwhile thing, and that generally comes after the rough cut has been approved and it's done in the fine cut process. And then the last thing there is adding B-roll, which we do for every single project. And then we have the quiz again, so take that, send me your results, just so I can keep track that everybody's moving forward. Just a reminder, we've talked about since the beginning of class a technical side and an aesthetic side. The settings here in Premiere, file management, you can take a look at the woman teaching the tutorial and see how organized her files are. Absolutely critical. Absolutely critical, and you just have to become comfortable with that. You never just want to import raw footage and start cutting. And then the aesthetic side is the cut working, the cut that you have? And generally what we'll do is we'll cut the audio together first, and then we'll start laying on B-roll or additional shots. But I want you to be conscious of both. And then the biggest piece of advice that I can give you is you need to constantly save. You need to save your work. There's nothing more disheartening than working 30 minutes and doing some really good work, and all of a sudden your system crashes and you can't find your project file, and you didn't save your project file. So absolutely critical. I'm constantly saving. I use a shortcut for saving, and for me on an Apple, it's Apple S, Apple S, Apple S. I do it with my thumb and then my middle finger. And these commands here, these shortcuts, you really just want to memorize. You can go up to the timeline, you can drop down your dialog boxes, and you can edit that way. But as you begin to cut, the actual task that you want to perform, the quicker that you can do it, the better off you're going to be, by far. There are no professional editors that go up to edit, save, or edit, insert. They're using, if you're right-handed, they're using their left hand to move through the keyboard. And there's all kinds of commands. These are the basics. These are the ones that I recommend that you memorize. And the more that you use them, the easier it'll be. Now, the one thing that you have to do is keep in mind that you have to click on the timeline in Premiere. And if you're working on a clip, you got to click on that clip. And then these commands will start to work for you. Hope that makes sense. What I'd like you to do this week is post a short video under a minute. You can use the files that are in the tutorial. Just cut something together that kind of makes sense. If she's talking, drop that in, lay some B-roll on top of it, and you're good to go. I just want to see how you're, if it's making sense. So go ahead and post that in the discussion board, and then just take a screen capture of your timeline. I want to make sure that your file management is where it should be, and the timeline looks correct. A lot of people have edited before, and they know how to do this, so you don't have to go through the tutorial. You can post something that you've done before, keep it again under a minute, but do open up Premiere and show me an image from sending me and the timeline so I can take a look at your process. It should look something like this. This is all that you need to do. Go ahead and email me that. And that's what I have for you. So if you have any questions, email me. We'll get through this thing. And do have a great week. Cheers.